Saturday. Let's talk about it. Fighting Nerds, first of all, is for real. I feel like that is, I mean, undeniable. But Kyle Borralho's performance against Jared Cannonier, obviously, Kyle Borralho, he looks like he could be the second coming, right? That's what a lot of people are saying. There's a guy named Brendan Allen that probably disagrees, but that's beside the point. He looked amazing. Probably his best performance in the UFC against his most legit competition. But I feel like Jared Cannonier has always been a fluke boy, in my humble opinion. I mean, if we go down Jared Cannonier's legacy per se at middleweight, right? He gets a short notice fight against David Branch. He wasn't supposed to beat David Branch, but he beat him. David Branch got chinned. After that, he gets a fight against Jack Hermanson. Jack Hermanson is mutilating him in the grappling. He lands a lucky uppercut, and it's over, right? He wins that. Then he gets matched up with Robert Whitaker. He got shown levels. I felt like the people knew, and it was a wrap, right? Then he goes on one of the flukiest runs I've ever seen in life. He beats Kelvin Gastelum. I thought he won. I thought KG won 3-2. Facts. Just my humble opinion.
I'm loving this. Keep going. This is funny.
And then, no. Then he fights Derek Brunson. This one was the worst. Rewatch the fight. I've watched the fight 3 times, and it pains me to watch it. You know what they say, man. When you lose something, appreciate it when you had it there, right?
Brunson chinned him early on as well.
Yeah, Blonde Brunson had him on skates, bro. He had him in the corner, okay? The fight was done, all right? He had him in a rear naked choke. He was like, Jared Cannonier has never been flabbergasted with that mastery of technical prowess that Brunson was given that ass, okay? That is a fact. Then Brunson gets tired. He makes a small error, which leads into a big comeback for Jared Cannonier and one of the biggest flukes I've ever seen in my life, and lands these fucking elbows that everyone likes to replay, this and that.
That was a nasty knockout. I felt so bad for Brunson as well, because if you remember right as well, like, do you know what it is? I think me and you, I don't know, like, obviously I know you say things, but you're kind of joking as well. Like, there was like really a resurgence for him, and he was getting a lot of really good wins.
He would have had a title shot if he would have won that, bro.
Like, for context, I know people are gonna say Till and Edmund Shabazian suck, but those guys, when they were on the up, people were fucking like, oh shit, like these are really bad fights. Like,
yeah.
Brunson's going to get chinned in one by both of them, and then he beat both of them, and he fucking...
Oh, let's not forget about the Kevin Holland fraud check. Before it was cool to beat Kevin Holland, we did it, okay? Brendan Allen and Derek Brunson did it first, okay?
People saying Brunson was, that was an
All
error.
right. He was on his fight win streak when in a year. We whooped them. We stopped that.
He had the Charles Oliveira run before Oliveira with the blonde hair and shit. Inspiring the world.
He was running shit, man. But yeah, so it is what it is.
Bro, he keeps saying my boy's about to get KO'd by Holland. Who's Holland fighting?
I think Roman DeLizzi.
Since when is Roman DeLizzi my boy?
I think that's who he's fighting. But listen here, bro. Listen here. I'm not done, bro. I'm not done. Jared Cannonier not only flukes the biggest fight of his career, fights for the belt in the most forgettable title fights I've ever seen. It is the one fight, including Dan Hooker versus Edson Barboza, I will never rewatch. There's no point. There's no need. It is what it is.
That's all right. Fight as well. There's certain fights where it's like, you know, like we always talk about dudes getting sparked, but when you see dudes getting beat pillar to post for rounds on end, something uncomfortable about watching it. Like, I know the guys in the chat won't like this, but seeing Justin Gaethje just fucking pick Tony Ferguson apart for 5 rounds is just
beautiful. I love it. I love what Justin Gaethje did to Tony. This is my favorite, one of my favorite fights to rewatch. I've rewatched that fight 5 times. It's on repeat. But listen, it doesn't end here. Jared Cannonier had one last fluke up his sleeve, and it was the final straw for eBay. It was the final straw. It was the Marvin Vettori fluke of the century. To this day, I don't understand how that fight went the way it went. But hey, It is what it is.
What did you make of the Imavov stoppage between the two of them?
He was schooling him, man. It would have got worse. His chin got saved. That's all. That's how we should look at it. All right. And just to go back, Jared Cannonier had one of the flukiest fights with Marvin Vettori, but we all know it had to come to an end because Nasruddin Amayev and Kai Borralho stood up against flukeness and witchcraft because the guy did play with stones and crystals. We all know that. So he probably was cheating. We all know that, right? Facts. I don't lie. Actual factual. And Kyle Borralho, they stood up against the odds and sent that old man packing.
I'll tell you what, though, that gym is making a lot of noise right now.
Yeah.
That is a gym that's literally contender for gym of the year, isn't it? With Ruffion, Borralho, obviously what he's just doing. I know Thiago Moises, like in terms of what he's been doing for years. Protez getting a KO in the last pay-per-view. Nobody's ever put Legion in the hand out like that. And it's just yeah, man, it's just obviously there's a few guys on there doing something. I think if the UFC are smart, I'd hold on to a few of them for that Brazil pay-per-view next year in the first quarter because they could cook.
Yeah,
like,
they could.
They could cook because for whatever reason, like you know this as well. A lot of the CKB guys, they like to keep them for them Sydney pay-per-views and whatnot. But I'll tell you what, keep some of the fighting there guys for the Brazil pay-per-view. Watch them just blow up like that. Honestly, especially the way some of them fight as well. Like a Borralho fighting a potential title eliminator, and a Protez getting his first ranked guy. I think Magny was ranked, or am I tripping when he fought him?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Magny was 15, so he's gonna get the 15 spot. So imagine him fighting like a Buckley in Brazil, or like Protez testing his striking against Jeff Neal's hands. Like Jeff Neal is number 10. Like those are. Jeff Neal's fighting RDA, which really doesn't make sense. But it's just, just see him against Jeff Neal in Brazil. That would be fucking fun. But a lot to say. 3 or 5
thoughts on